Karmelo's family just released the most insane letter. I actually haven't heard about this.
Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hivemind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Injustice, they say. Racial injustice, racial. It's the battle cry we hear every single time. Racial discrimination, unjust treatment for black and brown people in the American justice system. And of course, they've thrown that at us.
Wasn't that proven false? I swear that was proven false. I don't know. I don't know the stats on it.
Full force with this Karmelo Anthony situation. In fact, Dominique Alexander continues to talk about this. But you know what I'd like to do? I'd like to flip the script a little bit, or at least let's slowly crawl back to reality, shall we? They want to talk about injustice. This claim that Karmelo Anthony is being treated unfairly by the justice system just because he's black. If he was white, he wouldn't have even faced charges. They would have instantly declared it self-defense. First of all, it's completely ridiculous. And secondly, the kid who's supposed
he has the same problem as Tim Pool and Tucker. He's performative. I actually don't care if a person is kind of like really animated about it. You know, like they're really animated about the news and like they kind of like are yeah, I guess it's a good question. What Julio says, performative in what sense? Because I actually don't mind if a person is like kind of talking about it in a hype way. Like take Benny, for instance. Like I don't really mind. Like I like his style. I think it's just as good as like, you know, say like Warren's, who's like a lot more muted, a lot more like kind of toned down a bit. I think that when you have a style that's like a lot more lively and a lot more like, I guess evocative or provocative, maybe it's more entertaining to watch. It's like easier to watch, right? Yeah.
Facing racial injustice in the justice system seems to be getting handed every perk imaginable, every benefit of a broken system, and the craziest part is that he's the last person to deserve it. I mean, I have never seen such blatant privilege shoveled out to somebody who clearly doesn't merit it, not even an ounce of it. But once again, another leftist cultural display for us, the way the modern left turns criminals into martyrs and victims into the forgotten.
Let's
talk about the latest stuff going on surrounding Karmelo Anthony. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, so first I want to go back and talk about the slashing of Karmelo Anthony's bail. Remember, the price tag started initially at $1 million, but then magically overnight, it was reduced down to $250,000, and we were scratching our heads, wondering what the hell was going on. And during that same day, I remember relevant law enforcement officials mentioning how they had a video of the incident, and so although I was doubtful, based on the police report, that the video evidence would show anything that exonerated Karmelo, I put two and two together and I at least considered the possibility that maybe there was a video that exonerated Karmelo and that's why his bail was dropped so dramatically. But I remember recording that video, I said, yeah, chances are probably not. I think the highest likelihood is that his bail was reduced simply because of racial grievance.
So like it kind of makes sense to me, by the way, that they're not releasing the video because it was like on a school. So there's probably like some other reasons behind it. Although I guess it is kind of weird because anybody can watch it if they ask. So yeah, I don't know.
Narratives, and the video evidence likely show that this was murder, and well, now that's the exact bridge that we're crossing now, isn't it?
Texas grand jury indicted 17-year-old Karmelo Anthony just last week for a deadly altercation that happened at a Texas track meet in April. And now News Nation has viewed a critical piece of video.
And they had this on camera too.
Evidence.
They allowed me to view this video under
Hold up.
A critical piece of video evidence. April. And now News Nation has viewed a critical piece of video evidence.
It's just so funny to me because like I don't know if this is intentional, but I feel like every single time they have a case like this, they always have a picture of like the minority person, like always in like the most doe-eyed, like, you know, wearing like a nice suit or something. That's always like that. And then like the other person is always like looking like as thuggish as possible. Like, I feel like that's always the case.
They allowed me to view this video under strict conditions. I couldn't record anything. I couldn't take pictures. I could take notes, but that's about it. They would play it one time, and they wouldn't even rewind it or play it again, even the moment in question. What I saw in the video...
Wait, why, though? That's my question. Why? If you're going to show people the video anyway, why can't they, like, look at it with more scrutiny? What are they trying to hide? Right, like what the fuck? Like it's so this is so sus. Like why would they do this?
Was ultimately
it's almost like they're trying to fulfill some kind of legal requirement and then like be like, okay, well we fulfilled our legal requirement. Now get the fuck out of here. You know?
the press box across the field on the 45-yard lines, and you can't really make up anybody. You can't make out individuals. You can see people and colors and what they're wearing, but you can't make out identities. What I did not see was any obvious physical altercation.
Also, what the fuck? This is a nice stadium.
Was any
what the hell? This is for a school, like a high school? What the hell?
Obvious physical altercation.
The camera that recorded it is up there, up in the press box. It's raining that day, and there's people milling about. There's people warming up on the field here, on the tracks, getting ready, but it's raining.
Yeah, dude, my schools were super ghetto. What the hell?
And so people are on their umbrellas. Across the field, on the 45-yard line, there's a yellow...
I live like in the countryside, and there's like some really sus places, man. Like fucking
tent, a sports tent that you can see a bunch of people huddled underneath. On this side, there's some coaches, people warming up, people stretching over here. At one point, around 9:54 a.m., if you're watching the yellow tent, there's people entering. You see someone maybe wearing a yellow poncho, someone wearing a dark suit, and then pandemonium happens. People scram everywhere. People start running this way, across the field, this way. People on this side of the field still don't know what's going on. It's not until about 9:58 that you see people rushing over there, try and help. By 10 o'clock or shortly after 10 o'clock, you see the first police cars arrive over here. Paramedics come in this way, park up here. They can't get the stretcher up, so they have to go all the way back over here and then double back up the stairs. By about 10:05, everybody in here is just gone. So this is from a different perspective across the field. You can see where the cameras, the press box cameras, captured everything. We're on the 45-yard line here. This is where it ultimately happened. There's a tent right up here, kind of the sports tent where everybody was huddled at 9:40.
Is it bad I saw that track and the first thing that I heard in my head was the Uma Pyoy song?
44. Whatever went down happened right here. Somewhere
started playing in my head.
Over here, Karmelo Anthony was being questioned by police at that point. Admitted that he was the one who did it. Said he did it in self-defense.
Initially, we spoke about how a Daily Mail journalist got their hands on the footage, or rather, they were allowed to view the footage. Well, now we're learning that News Nation was also in that room, and it seems, at least the way that they're reporting it, that the video footage is a complete gut punch to the Karmelo defense.
Yeah, but why don't they just show it? Like, if this is what I mean, like it doesn't make sense. If they're gonna let people see it, then let them see it. What is this freaking smokescreen shit? You know,
defense team. It shows the opposite of self.
Either don't show it at all, or show the video like how they want to watch it.
Defense. It shows bloody murder, and so now it's a little bit of a full circle moment.
It's because it's a gut punch to Karmelo Anthony. Yeah, but they should show it anyway. Why is the government doing this shit? You know, or the school. I don't know who's responsible, but they're both kind of the same probably. Why are they doing this?
Moment, right? This guy got to walk free under house arrest despite that video showing.
Like, why is the government? Why are they so against the people like having this information like all the time? Like, what makes them think that they work for us? Like, what the fuck is this?
What it showed. And the judge likely made the decision after having already seen that footage, or at least knowing of it.
They don't want to rile up people up online and have protests, and why show it to a couple like hand-selected news outlets that are gonna describe what happened anyway? Do you see my point? Like, why even show it then? If that's the problem, like, I can understand that, saying like, oh, we don't want to take the jury or anything. Then don't fucking show it to anybody.
And yet, despite that, the system gave this kid a free pass. And it's not just the bail at this point, it's a whole laundry list of perks. He was also allowed to attend his graduation, while the victim's family was
check if Pirate Bay has footage. I remember Live Leak used to have everything.
Burying their son, and now here's where things get truly wild. We all know that Karmelo Anthony's family raked in over $500,000 in fundraising funds, and on top of that, they were selling t-shirts as well. So likely I'd say they're probably getting close to the $1 million mark in terms of how much they fundraised. Definitely over $600,000.
That's a lot of money.
And yet, despite that, Karmelo Anthony applied for indigent status in court, which essentially means that he's declaring himself bankrupt without funds to afford a legal defense, and the court just granted it to him. Holy freaking moly. He is now legally broke in the court system.
The purpose of the system is what it does, not what it says it does. I see.
It qualifies him for a taxpayer-funded public defender. It's like some sort of sick joke. And really, to take it to the next level, speaking of this sick joke, take a look at the Anthony family's latest move. They dropped a letter, now begging for another $1 million after already pocketing half.
Wait, but then what? But then I thought he was going to get public representation. Wait,
$1 million.
Is this real? Hold on. TFDA Indigent packet. It's a collection of documents and information submitted to a court to prove a person's financial inability to afford legal representation. Man, what the fuck?
Well, speaking of this sick joke, take a look at the Anthony family's latest move. They dropped a letter, now begging for another $1 million after already pocketing $500,000. The Anthony family would like to express our heartfelt gratitude to everyone who has supported us through this unimaginable tragedy. Again, you would think that they're the family of the victim. Yes, you're the one who's suffering tragedy. Absolute freaking insane statement. Thank you all for your prayers, letters, donations, and unwavering encouragement. Again, just a wild statement to read. Anybody who donated to this family or to Karmelo's defense effort here should be freaking ashamed of themselves. At this point, it's worse than donating to BLM in 2020. But anyways, they continue.
No. Listen. They deserved it. 100%. If you donate to a person, not even understanding anything about the crime, if a person puts up a GoFundMe saying like, please pay for, like this happened, and you don't know anything about the crime, and you give them money because they're black or whatever reason, this doesn't have to be just that. It could be like literally any reason. And you give them money without even understanding anything about the case, like for their defense, then you deserved it, honestly. Yeah, you're a fucking idiot, basically.
By writing, some may wonder what this fund is truly for, and we want to clarify with
they're not like victims here. They're not victims.
Transparency and honesty.
They're victims of themselves, really. Victims of their own stupidity.
These funds are being used to cover essential and urgent needs that have arisen as a result of this tragic situation, including but not limited to safe relocation of our family, basic living expenses, transportation to and from court.
This is so broad right here. Basic living expenses. That's crazy. That's so broad.
Proceedings, trauma-informed counseling for our entire family, enhanced security measures, and critically, retaining qualified legal counsel and a thorough, fair investigative team. While legal expenses are a significant part of this fund, they are only one part. Our family, a loving, God-fearing family, is simply seeking safety, justice, and peace in these trying times. So today, and until his trial date, we humbly ask, please consider making another contribution to the fund for Karmelo. Please continue to share it with your network. Please stand with us for truth, for justice for our son, the Anthony family. So it's basically the same thing as the first letter. They're being quite transparent that they're collecting these funds for all kinds.
They're trying to raise like 1.4
of personal matters for just general living expenses. They're saying, hey, let's capitalize off our son murdering somebody in cold blood. They're obviously once again laying the groundwork. They're being perfectly transparent that they're taking this money for personal reasons. But what's shocking to me is that once again, they claim that the funds that they're asking for through the Give, Send, Go are to be used on legal counsel.
Yeah, and then I mean, we don't know yet though. I mean, it's possible. Like, is that something they give anybody? Like, hold on. Like, yeah, so he was given a documentation provided to demonstrate financial hardship.
How can you have collected $500,000+ for legal funds, and then you have your murderer's son ask the courts to be set as indigent status? It's completely insane. It's a slap in the frickin' face. And the craziest thing is that the courts, again, allowed it. I mean, talk about privilege. This teen murderer has been granted every privilege imaginable, and yet the left keeps telling us that there's a huge problem of racial injustice across the nation. Give me a freaking break.
Ridiculous.
The Karmelo situation, in my view, proves the exact opposite. And of course, the facts continue to suggest that this kid is absolutely freaking cooked. Anyways, that's pretty much what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did,
the trial is going to be really interesting. Do we know when that's going to drop? Let me see if I can, maybe I can grok it. I don't know. When is the Karmelo Anthony trial? Let me get some information on it. Court date is not, a court date has not been set yet. A notice to appear, issued July 18th. So the preliminary hearing of the court. Yeah, and again, like the grand jury already found, decided to proceed with it. So, Redley Saints is a fucking mad. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of ridiculous. I mean, it's ridiculous to be like, we need this for legal well, I mean, to be fair, guys. To be fair, They did say in the thing that it was for everyday living expenses. That was in their GoFundMe or whatever the hell, Gifts and Go. I don't know what they used, but it was in there that they were going to use it for living expenses. So I mean, if you see that and you're like, yeah, I'm still going to give it, even though it's not 100% guaranteed going to legal stuff, then I mean, it's not really. You kind of did it, or you kind of did it yourself, right? I mean, can I really say? I mean, can you really say that these people got scammed? I actually don't agree. I don't think they did get scammed. They just played themselves. I don't want to like let's not pretend like this is a scam. They got exactly what they paid for, in my opinion. Exactly what they paid for. It said there in plain text what they were gonna do with it. Kucho Kacha, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you.
Make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.
All right, well, that's crazy. It's gonna be really interesting to actually see the trial play out when it does. I'll link you guys the video. But yeah, that's my take on it. Yeah, they didn't get scammed at all. They knew what they were getting into. They said it in plain text, and then they donated anyway. Like they need to take responsibility for their own actions. And to be honest, I think a lot of them will. I think a lot of them aren't even going to say that they got scammed. I think a lot of them will just be okay with it. That's kind of where we're at in society, right?